So the Winter Classic is Wednesday, and some people are being negative Nancy's and saying that it might rain. Kyle, cut it out. We don't need rain.
Sean, I'm in the middle of a weathercast. What are you doing?
If it does start raining significantly, they'll postpone the game to later in the day. And if it's still raining then, well, then they'll postpone it to the next day, January 2nd. And if there's still rain on January 2nd, well, then they'll move the game to a different day entirely. Why? Because at that point, the ice is too dangerous. And these guys might start skating like me. But what happens if it starts raining during the game? Well, if they haven't finished 2 periods, they'll just postpone it. If they have finished 2 periods, whoever's winning wins the game. But if it's tied, they'll go to a shootout, either right then or the next time they meet, which is 2 months later. So what happens if you have a ticket and the game gets postponed? Well, as long as the game is eventually played in this stadium, your ticket is still good. But we don't have to worry about that unless there's a heavy downpour, because if it's just a light drizzle, the show will go on, because a little bit of water never hurt anyone, right? Ow! Oh my goodness, why'd you throw a water bottle at me? Ow!